And welcome back to The Average White Guys. My name's Alex Haynes. I'm one of the owners of A Squared, and we help turn those likes into dollar bills through the magic of marketing. It's a fancy word of saying doing fun social media posts and helping people convert into real paying clients. It's a whole fun thing, and I love what I do. Also, what I love to do is sit across from this guy, because he's pretty amazing, and every week he shows up to talk to me and you about stuff that doesn't really matter in life, and it's awesome. That's right, the one, the only, the fabulous Justin Scouten of LOW.
Hello, everyone. This is Justin with LOW Properties, Community Real Estate Services. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And tonight, what are we talking about?
Aru.
I am actually very lost right now.
Okay.
I knew what we're talking about. I have no idea what that refers to.
So we are talking about what's on my shirt. If you are watching this on YouTube, it says Spartan on it. And that is for the Spartan races that we've talked about in this a couple times.
Yeah.
But you and I have a Spartan race that's coming up. And the reason
I have a doctor's note that says absolutely I should probably do this for my health.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. So the reason I opened with that is that's one of the things that they always say at the beginning of the race is Aru. It kind of gets the crowd into it. There's a kind of announcer that has fun with the whole thing. And one of the things I love that he says is, don't forget you all paid for this shit.
Yeah.
Meaning like, don't get mad at us.
Yeah, I did. And we are both doing it.
Yes.
And I don't know if you can tell, but I can't wait.
Yeah. You seem really excited. Yes.
I am both excited, terrified, proud, and regretful all at the same time, which makes it a really weird feeling. And we both have different reasons why we're doing this. Mostly you're doing this to see me suffer, I feel like.
Well, I'm actually doing it 2 days.
I know, which is insane.
Yes.
There's something wrong with you.
Well, so if we're talking about the why of doing it, the first day I'm actually doing it is because that's just for my own personal goal on it.
Before we get into the why, not everyone knows what a Spartan is.
Okay.
So we probably should explain to the audience what this living hell is and why Haynes is terrified about what's about to happen in a month for us. By the time this podcast comes out, there's a good chance there'll be a funeral for me and RIP myself. But what is a Spartan?
Spartan race is an obstacle course race. And what that means is they have different levels. At least there's different types. There's tough mudders. There's other types of obstacle course racing.
Right.
Spartan seems to be the most popular one out there.
Okay.
And what it is there's 3 levels for the basics, basic people. And I say that I'm basic in this. I'm basic in this as well, because this actually has world championship racing and stuff like that as well. Yeah,
people compete. They've the whole level, another level above what we're doing.
And they even have like 24-hour races for these type of obstacle course races as well. So that's why I say
24-hour race?
24 hours. Like you keep running and whoever can finish as many laps in 24 hours is the winner. Yes. So, I mean, it goes to elite. And that's why I say
there's a whole nother level of crazy there. I'm just not going to lie. That is, that's special.
Yes. And so that's why I say for the basics like us, because I don't even want to think about that.
How miles, kilometers, what is this thing?
So they have the first one is a sprint. That's what we're doing on the Sunday. A sprint is a 5K, 5 kilometers, which is approximately 3.1 miles.
3.1 something, 3.2 if you round it up.
Okay. And so 3.2 miles of a Spartan race. And during this race, depending on where it's at, there are certain obstacles.
Yes. They made it harder.
Yes. Now, the race that we're going to is actually more on flat ground, which I'm sure you're going to appreciate.
I very much do.
Because it's going to be in Sacramento. They have them all over the country. Like I said, they have world championships. So they have them all over the world for these things. Most of the time, the world championship is in Dubai. But
maybe we get enough subscribers. You and I can get funded, and then we can afford to go to Dubai.
Yeah, there we go.
And then we can live broadcast me dying.
Okay.
Doing one of these things. Watch us die.
So during these obstacles, they have it's about 20, I think, for the sprint.
20 obstacles?
20 obstacles. They range from going over a 4-foot wall, then there's a 6-foot wall, an 8-foot wall. There's a rope climb that you have to do. There's barbed wire crawl where you actually have to crawl under the barbed wire. And with that, this new one that they actually introduced this last time that you're going to have fun with they actually you have to carry a 50-pound bag of sand for part of this obstacle, and you crawl it with. It's about 50 yards that you crawl with the 50-pound sand.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're watching YouTube right now, you may have seen the color of my face
it dropped,
go away
yes.
as I realized I've made a horrible mistake.
There's things called the Atlas ball where you are you pick up, I think it's an 80-pound kind of metal ball, and you have to carry it to one side. You drop it, then you carry it back over to the other side. That's only about 10 yards.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, not bad.
Sounds like something we would do in normal life.
Yeah. There's an A-frame wall where if you take a piece of plywood that's 4x8 and you take the 8-foot length of it and you put it up against another piece of plywood, that makes an A-frame, right?
Like a teepee.
Yes, like a teepee.
Okay.
Well, they put 4 of these together.
Okay.
And then they have holes in them, or they have like the mountain climber grips.
Yeah.
And you have to walk sideways on the wall without stepping. Yeah, spider crawl.
Yeah.
Across it. And then you have to ring a bell.
Okay.
So it's all type of different exercises like that, obstacles. They have a lot of monkey bar ones. So, and then the fun part of it is.
Oh, there's more.
Yes, there is more.
Sorry.
If you don't complete an obstacle.
Yes.
You actually have to, this is the fun part. You have to do the 30 burpees. And what a burpee is, you go down to a push-up to where you jump, then you kind of come up from the push-up, and then you have to jump up. That's one burpee. And it sounds like we're having a shooting here in Fairfield.
Pretty sure those are fireworks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. That's much better.
Shooting has a much more metallic, higher pitch.
Okay.
I know this because I live in Fairfield.
Sorry, we digress. We just heard something very loud bang in our audio here.
Yeah.
So that's what the obstacle is. Now that's the 5K. That's what you're doing. And then the 10K is what I'm doing the day before. And when we talk about what are we doing this for, I'm doing that for my own personal goal. I don't do it with anybody because I've done it with other people in the past, just like we're going to do on Friday. And personally, I like to run most of the time. When we do it on the Sunday, we're probably going to be walking it. So this is just a way for me to increase my workouts at home. It gives me motivation to actually want to push myself. Because, workouts are great. I do it 4 days a week. I work out from anywhere from about an hour to an hour and a half. But there are certain times where I get in ruts. And so that's why I like to do these, because it kind of gets me out of those ruts. It gives me some goals to push for. I increase my weights a little bit. I go for longer runs. I'll start throwing in some different obstacles that are going to prepare me for this race as well.
Okay.
So why are you doing it?
Because I made a horrible mistake. No. Okay. So if you've ever watched our show, going back to some of our older content, which I highly encourage you to do because we need those views. 9 months ago, I talked about having some health conditions and making some crazy changes in my life. One of those things is over the last 6 months or so, I've lost over 100 pounds. I got the gastric bypass surgery because I really needed to do that because I had food noise issues and my body just wasn't processing food correctly. No matter how much I dieted, I could not lose weight. It was becoming a big problem.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Please.
You said food noise.
Yeah.
Well, I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah. So, terminology. Literally, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I would think about food. It was always on my mind.
Like a white noise.
Kind of, yeah.
Is that the terminology kind of combines it? Okay.
It's like this little voice in your head saying you're always hungry, that you can't wait to eat, you're excited about food, you're quite literally thinking about your next meal or your next snack. You get insane cravings. Like I have to have kind of like almost addiction level style cravings. Like weird, like deep, like it hurts me if I don't have it. I start freaking out, getting like itching and shaking if I didn't get the thing I needed. Because something in my mind says I need this thing. So you ever been like, I know with you, with health, you haven't really dieted, but you healthy. But there's been times when you're like, hey, my body needs oil or salt or something because I just know my body's off. You ever had that feeling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So take that, ratchet that feeling up to about 11, and then have it randomly hit you at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it be like McDonald's or Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's...
Okay. And then
it's not the best.
I would never be full.
Oh.
Like almost ever. Like, and if I was full, I would be sick full, and my mind would tell me I'm still hungry. So like I could eat at the time 2 to 3 times what everyone else ate, and I would still feel like I could have a snack. Um, it was not healthy, and I was extremely overweight. I was in health. That was something I was trying to fix. I hit over 400 pounds at one point. I lost 100 doing keto, which was really good. That kicked off some other issues because when you lose a lot of weight fast, some other health issues popped up. Kind of hung around 300 for a while. Then I had a couple doctors go, "This is your only option." Made that decision. There's a whole other conversation. We could talk about the lies doctors tell us, because that wasn't the only choice I had, and I definitely was lied to. And the results were good, but I wish I'd known all the truth. In some ways, if I knew the truth, I may not have made the progress I made. So maybe it was a good lie. Um, but there's a whole other conversation about that. And so it is what it is. But the results are good. So after the surgery, did everything I needed to do. You and I have had conversations about food and what I was eating, and you got worried for me, really worried, because the diet the doctor had me on was pretty insane. A dietitian, I met with a different dietitian. The dietitian was like, "This is not healthy. Do not do this. This doctor is insane." Because all this person cared about was hitting numbers, not about living a healthy lifestyle. And so the good news is I lost over 100 pounds. And then I started eating real food again, gained a little bit back. But during this change, when I lost this weight, one of the things I told myself and I promised myself is anybody who asked me to work out with them, I would say yes. And if anyone wanted to do an activity or do something that was like a workout or a race or whatever, I would say yes because I had to. I made it a rule for myself. And so I announced this in a group. Justin and Chelsea were there. Chelsea's another friend of ours. And they immediately went, "Great, come work out with me. Great, please go do this thing with me because I really want you to do it. I think you'll have fun." And so I said yes. Didn't know what I was saying yes to at all. And so I think our first workout was how long?
About an hour and a half. Oh, no, it was 2 hours because I was training workout for one of my workouts. Yes. So I did a double on that one.
And I survived.
You did?
I did it. From zero, I did a 5K for my first workout, which you did 10. I was supposed to be like, "Oh, you got to get up to 10. I barely made the 5. We did push-ups, sit-ups, weights, walking with weights. You were wearing a weighted vest.
Farmer's carry is what it was.
Carries.
Yes. Yep.
We were doing a bunch of stuff. You were doing pull-ups. I was wishing I could do pull-ups. It was a lot of stuff we did, but it was 2 hours. And at the end of that, I remember sitting on a chair or something, and you're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No."
Actually, I remember I was behind you on that one, and I kind of saw you lean back, so I kind of had to push you. I said, "I think you need some more food in you."
Yeah.
Yes. You learned a lot about nutrition just on that one one workout.
We learned about what happens when you burn 1,000 calories in
and
a
you
2
don't
hour
eat
setting.
before.
And you don't eat before.
Yes.
Poor decisions were made.
Yes.
I said yes to a workout, then I didn't eat correctly, and then I worked out for a bunch. So since that was probably 6-7 months ago, right?
I would think actually more like a year, because when you said the 9 months, I thought
Has it been over a year? It might have been over a year. Yeah. It may have been over a year. I apologize. It may have been over a year. So since then, it's been about a year. We've been working out. I started gaining some weight, but a lot of it came to be muscle, right? And then just eating healthily, my body's been adjusting.
Well, you also gained some of that weight, though, because you started actually eating right.
Yeah. That was frustrating. That's a whole other conversation.
It's dieting. I always say never diet. It should always be a way of life. It should either be you lose calories or you don't. That's a good nutritionist, I believe, is all. I'm not a certified nutritionist. I do watch a lot of YouTube. I do watch a lot of those things for nutrition because I try and help my wife out as well. And I always say it's just a matter of calorie deficit instead of that, because you still need to get in your proteins, your fibers. I've said this probably in a couple podcasts, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but that is where I think nutrition comes in. And you were unfortunately not eating enough to keep up with that.
No, I wasn't. And so started eating correctly. I could probably do a whole nother conversation about learning what healthy looks like, because it's different for everybody. And this whole thing has been like a learning thing, because we started working out like regularly. And then I got hurt and not stretching well, learning about that. And then,
Especially when you age
yeah,
on stretching,
I
it
realized
is
I'm not
huge.
15, 16 anymore, right?
Yeah.
Stretching is a big deal. Then we really started talking about what I started asking, like, hey, what does real eating look like? Because now I was struggling to even eat enough because I had a much smaller stomach. And so high dense protein was what I was eating, but not enough carbs, not enough energy. That was a whole thing. And then finding out some other medical stuff where if I knew before, might have been able to avoid the surgery. Just a lot of little things, right? And then I paused on some of the workouts. Life became busy. I let life get in the way. Didn't work out as much, and then realized, oh crap, this thing's happening. So let's get back to it. Um, and so there's been a lot of that yo-yo journey of trying to stay committed in the midst of being busy and doing crazy things like building a business and working 12 to 14 hours. And something you said, which always haunts me, is I just make time for it because it's important. And I'm like, make time for sleep because that's important.
Yeah. And I get spoiled, but I've also structured my life around it.
Yeah.
I've structured my house around it. And because we talked about that in one of the podcasts, I spend quite a bit of money on actually turning our garage into a fitness gym. And so it makes it easier for me. But again, I just made that part of my lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
And so that it helps.
And I've no joking. Like, I know we joke on this podcast about how amazing you look and whatever. But I fully respect how you lead your life. I'm jealous that you've been able to do that. It's something I wish I could do well. And I have such a hard time making it a priority because it hasn't been for the longest. I've done much better. And so for me, this race is really about doing it in spite of not doing it well. And I know it's not going to go well. And I'm going to show up and do it anyway to motivate myself to do it again later and see progress. Because this is something you and I talked about. What motivates me to go to the gym? What do I need? And this is a conversation I think our audience can understand. You do it because it's part of your schedule. Like you're and you what's the thing you say? We love to say, I do this because it makes me look good, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Shanti says that he's a fitness person. That's the reason.
Sexy.
Yes.
And you shared up, yeah, I do this to look good, and I like how I look and feel. And you've made it part of your life. Like you said, it's a routine for you. When you don't, you feel off. And you and I were talking. What is it gonna take for me to get to that next level? And we've struggled. I've struggled with that question.
That's why I think I'm happy about this for you, because then you get to see what some of the obstacles are that maybe you want to work on. Because that's one of the things I do in my life. I think about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. I've always had some problems with my hips and just, not stretching them enough, things like that. And when your hips are not good, it hinders everything. And so now I do a lot of different mobility movements in my workouts to adapt. And so that's some of the things that I've looked forward to, like in these races, is I start to change my fitness program to adapt to what's coming up on some of these things. But I also, just in my fitness journey, has adapted my workouts to say, okay, if I've had this injury, tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, hip, knees, I started adapting all of my workouts to say, okay, how can I make these stronger now? And I'm hoping that's one of the things in this, when we go and do this, that, yeah, it's going to be a struggle for you. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt.
But so I think I'm looking forward to that, to kind of say, okay, what do we want to work on? So that when you go to the next race, if it's climbing over a wall, well, that's a bit of a pull up. And so now you'll know at the next one, you're going to want to do that.
And something you and I talked about is we are so different in personalities. And you're struggling to figure out how to motivate me. I was struggling to even understand like what I wanted from this. Because I think you said, well, what do you want? And I was like, I don't know. And I think there are a lot of people who might listen to the show go, yeah, I just know I'm supposed to go to the gym and be healthy. And if you're not watching the YouTube, I use the quotations in the air, finger quotes, because what the world tells us is healthy is skinny, but that's not healthy. Like, what is health to you and why do you do it? And I've had to think about that. And it's the one thing that comes to my mind is strong. I want to be stronger than I am today. Period. I want to get stronger. And I want to, this is weird. I'm going to be proud that I went to this thing and I finish it, because I'm going to finish it. And that in of itself is a win, because before I wouldn't be able to finish it. But I think it's also going to motivate me, because I will do so poorly at it. Go, wow, I have way to go. And I now have tasks I can do. Because you and I have talked about this. I like to gamify my life. I need a challenge. The problem is I just don't understand the challenge.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things to keep in mind going into this race is, one, we're a team. So how it works with team races that we're signed up for is, if you can't do an obstacle, but I can do the obstacle, the 30 burpees we talked about, then I actually take on some of those burpees for you. But the other thing is too, it is a fun race. So as much as you might not be accomplishing one of the obstacles, skip it and don't do the burpees too. So don't go into this thinking, oh no, I'm going to have to do this and I'm going to kill myself by the end.
Right.
Maybe you are, but
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
on the other hand, just look at this as, again, like you were just saying a second ago, what can I improve on next year? Did I make the 4-foot wall? Did I make the 6-foot wall? And if you made both of those, next year you can make the 8-foot wall. And so those are the things that I would go into this looking for.
I totally agree. I think to admit, I don't think I'm the only person who struggles with this or has struggled with this. But for the longest time, for so many years, it's been impossible. It's always been a struggle. There's never a win. It's always, well, I do what everyone else does and I just don't see results. So there's zero expectation. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no change. And every time we make a step forward, somehow 2 steps back happen. I'm sure there are other people who are like, oh my gosh, that's me. I can totally appreciate that. Now, the crazy thing, year into this, because we've been doing this for, like we said, over a year. I've seen changes. I am stronger. I am significantly stronger than we started. Like, quite literally, I started with 1 pound weights. Right? No joke. No shame in that. That's where I had to start, because I was really weak. I was recovering from multiple surgeries and basically being bedridden for like 2 years. And now I was up to, what's my highest weight? 40, 50 pounds on some of this?
On some of it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, even, yeah, because the bar you were doing just on some of them is 45 alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we were adding weights on some of those, and my squats, I'm doing those regularly. I'm popping them out. I can now do
a backward lunge.
Backward lunge. Oh my God, that thing. There's a whole mental game you have to understand. That is the hardest thing. Is figuring out how to do a backwards lunge correctly.
Well, I think that's what deters a lot of people from just even getting into fitness, is looking stupid. And you have to go into it of,
you're gonna fall over.
Yes.
You're gonna fall on your ass. And
yeah.
I did multiple times.
Yeah.
And like, it took both of us, because you had to figure out how to help me do this. We were trying to figure it out, and they're like, you asked me, why can't I do it? I was like, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, my brain doesn't compute where my knee needs to go. And you're like, oh, we can figure that out. Just do
once
this.
we did, it clicked.
Oh, yeah.
And it was very, easy in the sense of now your mobility of it, like your brain was able to function with it.
Yep. Because there's such a weird motion that you don't normally do.
Who steps backwards to really do things? Yes.
Yeah. And kneels backwards. Who does that?
Yeah. Going forward most of the time, common, and your brain thinks it should be the same thing as going forward.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah. At all. Let me tell you.
Those are some of the things that people need to get over, and the fact of, yes, you are going to look stupid. Trying yoga.
Oh my goodness.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Even when I was getting into my fitness journey more than I am now, I looked so stupid. Yoga. I felt so stupid doing yoga.
Still so stupid.
Yes.
And I do it more now than I did before. And
I was doing one the other night. It was after I did a couple runs, and it was a simple stretch that I've done in a while. And so then the person that I end up watching, she's like, oh, just do this now.
Yeah.
And the way she did it, obviously she's a yoga instructor, so she should look simple.
Yeah.
My hamstring cramped up so bad that I actually had to jump up and stretch it out because of this one move. And it wasn't even the stretch that it was supposed to be doing. And so, it's things like that where you're kind of like, how am I like feeling so stupid right now that this muscle is cramping up when it's not even the muscle that I was trying to stretch. Yeah. And so those are the things that you just need to just get over, try it, walk. You live upstairs. What's the one thing I always tell you should be doing more and more often?
Up and down the stairs.
Up and down the stairs.
And
something simple motion.
I love, this is the cool, like stupid cool thing. And I don't, no one else is going to go, oh, that's really cool. To me, this is the coolest thing in the world. Walking up the stairs, it's literally like 25 stairs. It's not even that much. It's like 10 up, turn the corner, 10 up. Not a lot. Before, when I was heavy, walking up the stairs would make me winded. Okay, it just wasn't easy. I was a big guy. I quite literally jog and run up the stairs now with stuff. Like with anything from 5 to 50 pounds, I'll still jump and run up those stairs and jog up them and be not out of breath. Or if I'm carrying a lot, then I'm slightly out of breath, but it's like I get my heart pumping. And it's the coolest thing in the world to know I can do that. To know that it's not, I don't have to worry about it. It's weird. It's the simplest, stupidest thing. But every time I do it, I get a smile on my face because I'm like, hey, I can do this.
Yeah. No, that's part of the reason I mentioned it to you is because it's something you're doing anyways. How, again, I always talk about progressive overload. Can you go one step faster, a little bit more? Can you go back down and back up once you were up there?
Absolutely. And that's what I'm doing now. Obviously, California gas prices have gone a little crazy, right? So we're not working out together. So I was on my own. And so one of the things I told you was like, hey, I'm working on my 5K. I shaved off a bunch of time. Now, for me, a bunch of time was I went from an hour and 15 minutes down to under an hour. So I shaved 15 minutes off. You and I both know an hour and 15 minutes to do a 5K is awful. That is, I was walking, not even walking quickly. I was just, leisure. It's a leisure day stroll. But I started pushing myself and I got it down. You're like, you shaved time off. That is the win. Now shave another 30 seconds. Then go another 30 seconds. And you get it down to 45 minutes. Can you not do 45? Can you do, instead of doing a 5K in 45 minutes, can you do a 6K in an hour? Right? Can you add a little bit more time? Can you add elevation? Can you go up 1% or 2%?
Well, what's the latest thing I told you was if you're doing, say, a 5K, at every kilometer, get off and try 5 burpees. Try one burpee.
Yeah, that is.
Because if you're having to do that in an obstacle course race for these Spartan races, you're going to have to do burpees. So at 1K, stop it, pause it, get off, do a burpee, and get back to it.
And let me tell you, as awkward as you're going, oh, I don't want to do that at the middle of the gym. No one does. But it works. And yes, you look like a weird, crazy person.
I guarantee.
But the people actually work out. I've literally gotten people coming up, go, dude, killing it. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Randomly just coming up and go, dude, I see you, you're working out. Dude, you're awesome. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Please stop looking at me.
Well, I think I've said this a couple times. That's why I like when I'm going on my runs just around the blocks, I try and wave at people all the time. I'm hoping that it might just encourage them that there's friendly people out there. Let's wave. Let's say hi. Just
police have reached out to me to tell you to stop creeping people out. There's a crazy man.
That's it.
He runs. Why? There's no one chasing him. Yeah. There's no bears. There's no lion.
I think I mentioned this on one of the podcasts. I was on a run one night, and this guy who I'm about 6'1", and I run with the weighted vest. Well, there's this guy that was about, I think he was 6'5", and he was built pretty good. And he comes running like on the other side of the street. He crosses the street to come over to me. I'm like, is this guy gonna like try and jump me or something? But then he just comes over to give me a high five. And I'm like, that's what it's about. That's the fitness journey and the fitness world that I think people enjoy. And I've been looking for him because I know it was in my community. And so I was walking with my wife and grandson the other night, and he goes, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. Well, he was on one of his runs, and it was he remembered me from like 4 months ago, one time when we crossed each other's path. And I think that's what I love about like the Spartan races is you get these kinship of, hey, I'm here to struggle. We're all at different levels, but we're still coming here to this community to show that we are into our fitness and trying, and even if it's a struggle. I met somebody the other day where they are going to do the same one we are. I just met him twice. I mean, it was the second time I met him, and somebody pointed out, hey, I think this guy's doing a race. So I said, hey, let me, we're going to meet up again at this other event. And so I said, hey, I'll get your phone number the next time I see you, and we'll try and connect when we're there. And it was just, he saw the spark in his face, like, oh, you're trying it too? You're going to be there too? That's great. So I'm trying to encourage you as well to just kind of go, yes, it's going to be scary, but there's so many people there that are just there to encourage you.
And I 100%, I get that. And like I said, I am excited because this is something I couldn't have done a year ago. I wouldn't have even considered it. I think I laughed when you said, hey, you should come join me one time. I'm like, no, why would I do that? And then when I think I said, yes, you were excited for me. You're like, oh, this is going to be great for you. And I'm like, I already regret this decision. But I am excited. I am excited to go do this. I am excited to fail. 100%. I'm excited to get through and succeed, but also fail because it's an opportunity to know what to do better on the next time. And I think that's what it's about. It's about embracing what you're not good at and going, but I can get better. Because failure is when we give up.
Well, yeah, and that's where I was going to go with my happy-go-lucky spirit at this point and say, dude, if you're even showing up there, that you're not failing.
Yeah.
That's the way,
Yeah. So, showing up to the gym is half the battle.
That's it. I still say
going into the door and not going to McDonald's is the other half the battle.
I know I've talked about the Atomic Habits a couple times.
Yeah.
And I love one of the things that he says in there is drive to the gym. You don't even have to sign up yet. Drive to the gym, park in the parking lot for 5 minutes, and go home if you need to. Because your life is all habits. Everything we do in life is habits. And so if you can get in the habit of at least going to the gym and showing up there, eventually the next step you're going to do is go into the gym and actually sign up.
Do something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why walking is just so important, down to the block and back. So I know a lot of times I do my exercises out in front. And there's sometimes I do what's called a farmer's carry, where you take weights on the side of you and you just walk down the road. And I do it in front of my house. I don't know how many people look at me like, what the hell is this stupid guy doing here? And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, I know. But the result, this is the crazy thing. It pays off. No matter where you're at, you put in the effort. You do the thing. You show up. It will give you dividends. Now, there's some other caveats. If you go work out and then you go eat McDonald's 3 times a day, you're sabotaging yourself. Unless you eat the right thing. But I'm just talking in general. And if you're going to go eat a burger and fries, it's probably not the best choice. And I think you can choose to compound the benefits. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to McDonald's. If you want to go work out and then eat McDonald's because you've earned it, you probably did earn it. You did the hard thing. You don't have to be trying to lose weight. So I guess there's that. But if you're trying to lose the weight, is what I'm saying, or you're trying to be healthier, set yourself up for success.
Well, one thing I heard the other day, we talked about Alex Hermosi, Gary Vee. Layla Hermosi is Alex's wife. And she talks about how her mother was an alcoholic. She was actually an alcoholic for a while as well. But she talked more about how her mom had a huge problem with being alcoholic. And one of the ways her mom's got out of being an alcoholic is she took up smoking. Well, not the best. But then when she took up smoking, she ended up going from a pack a day to half a pack a day. And then she went to just a cigarette a day. And then she went to eating certain foods that were sugary, but it still took that craving away. But if you look at it in one perspective of, yes, alcohol is one of the worst things. Alcohol and drugs is one of the worst addictions you can get into.
Oh, there?
Yeah, right?
Okay, good to know.
But there are ways, even though you're trading it for one bad habit, at least it's a better habit.
Yeah.
And I say that in the sense of when you were bringing up the gym, if you were already somebody that was eating the 3 McDonald's meals a day, but now you're at least going to the gym.
You've made progress.
You've made progress. And yes, there are so many better progresses you can make.
Yes.
I'm not.
That's what we're trying to say.
I'm not trying to say
I'm not trying
do
to
that.
knock on anyone who's doing that.
I don't want to encourage that.
I'll be honest, that has been me at times. I'm like, I just worked out. I am so hungry. I need food. Fast food it is, because I've earned it.
But if you were going to go and get fast food and go home and sit and do nothing anyways, at least you did something.
You earned it.
But you just need to try and capitalize on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the thing. I have seen it pay off, and it may not pay off the way you think it's going to pay off. That's the other crazy thing. It's you may not look like that magazine person you want to look like, but it doesn't mean you didn't make progress. And defining what that progress is, that's a big thing think sometimes it's the mental change before the physical change shows up. Sometimes it's about just showing up and doing the hard thing and making it a habit. Sometimes it is hitting that weight number or looking that thing or gaining that muscle. There's so many different wins you can have.
So it was interesting. I heard a YouTube the other day where they were talking to some fitness people, and they were asking if you, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Thor.
Yeah.
Most people know him from the DC universe. So pretty popular out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I've heard of the man once or twice.
He's got a pretty damn good physique, I think most people would say, right? And what they said, for an average person that was already in a decent shape, it would take almost 3 to 5 years to get to his physique with the right training, meaning have a trainer that gives you this, with the food that they will, he probably has his own personal chef that was getting him there as well and getting him all the nutrition and stuff like that. So just kind of, if you think about it, that's 3 to 5 years with having everything basically prepared for you. And besides the movies, that's all he does. So it's difficult.
Yeah, you can't.
3 to 5 years with all those other things that are a bonus. Now, just with what some of the struggles you're going through, it just takes a while.
Yeah.
And you just got to push through those.
Yeah, and then like we've talked about, that life happens.
Yes.
Oh no, I have to work.
Yeah. Oh, I have a business I run.
I have a business run, and I got to work extra hours
Yes.
and end.
Yeah.
Or I'm shooting a podcast at 9:00 at night. Am I going to get a workout in? Maybe.
So that's what we wanted to talk about tonight, was just kind of some of the things that are motivating us right now to do our workouts. Spartans is one of the races that we're doing that's going to help hopefully motivate you. I know it motivates me because I did it last year, and my goal was to do the 10K one at an hour and under an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah. And
I got an hour and 36.
So close.
They actually have this one obstacle, which is the easiest obstacle per se.
Mm-hmm.
You have to throw a spear into a bale of hay. Well, the problem is the spear is like an old pitchfork that they cut off the two ends on, and they're bent, tied to a rope, and it's very hard to stick it into there. And so if you don't make it, you got to take the 30. So I did every obstacle except for the one that needed no real physical ability, and I missed.
Yep.
And by the time, it was the second to last one, and so it took me about 5 minutes.
There it is.
So I lost it by not being able to throw a spear into a bale of hay.
Are you practicing that now?
No, you actually can. I know Chelsea, who we talk about, she actually does.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So that's my goal for this time, is to, I got to assume that I'm not going to make that. So I got to figure out how to make up 5 minutes.
Well, speaking of goal and motivation, you want to motivate us? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That will motivate us to continue doing this.
There we go.
And maybe I'll even show up and talk about the Spartan Race if I survive afterwards. And then let us know in the comments, like, do you exercise? Do you eat right? You can say, hey, fatty, you need to lose another 10 pounds. I know it. You know it. You can say it in the comment. It will actually motivate me. Trust me, some trolls have actually been more motivation to me than people being nice. But granted, I've also had a lot of people tell me how much weight I've lost and how proud they are of me. So you're not gonna rise out of me. So, but I still want that comment either way, because that helps our channel. And of course, if you share with your friend, your neighbor, your frenemy, your enemy, your dealer, your cat, your Spartan friend,
we're talking about car dealers.
Sure.
Yes.
The guy who sells you your protein shakes, your gym bro, your gym trainer, your gym gal,
Your Spartan partner,
your cat, your dog, your cat and dog's walker. You can walk your cat. All those people, share with them. Your mom, your dad, your other mom and dad you don't talk about. The secret family you have. Share it with them. We can get more views, more subscribers. Anything else?
I think you hit about
hit
everybody you can ask. Yes.
And the postman, who your mom may or may not know. Until next time, we are
the Average White Guys.